What's going on? It's your boy Bowie here, back at it again. And I was going to record a video of my own. I may still record a video of my my own, excuse me. But regarding the state of Mortal Kombat 1 post Final Combat, and this is the first video where I react to the R1Ps Arena video. So R1Ps Arena beat me to the punch. So I watched a little bit of this, and I thought it would be very appropriate for me to react and give a little bit of commentary, sort of as a prelude to what I'm going to record. And I kind of have to do this soon because at any point NRS could drop a patch that completely changes the meta of the game. They typically wait until after a big tournament to drop a patch. And so, I gotta do this with the quickness. But let me play this video and then react organically. All right.
First of all, thank you so much for clicking on this video. For everyone who's maybe new here to the channel, usually we here in the arena, we host Mortal Kombat 1 tournaments every single day. We are the biggest competitive community tournament out there, paid out more than $100,000 in prize pool to the players.
Now, why is this important? They host these tournaments. They see the meta of the game from the world's best players, including many of the people that competed at Final Combat. So these dudes are not just some armchair quarterbacks out here getting mopped by silly shit. Okay? These are individuals that witness the game being played at the highest level every day. And they see stuff that's meta. They see stuff that's not meta. So what they have to say is actually quite important.
But today we are here for a somewhat different reason, because we want to have a discussion with you guys out there at home. Everyone who enjoys Mortal Kombat, everyone who watches Mortal Kombat on the regular, because there were like a few topics regarding Final Combat we want to cover here in this video. Because I personally enjoyed the tournament a lot.
So did I.
But at the same time, a lot of people out there, especially the casual audience, they hated the tournament for several reasons. And that's what we're going to talk about here in this video, because there are two sides and we're just going to try to have a discussion with the community here.
All right, let me skip
Peacemaker,
past
Johnny, Chameleon, the three most from K1. Peacemaker, Johnny, Chameleon, the three.
Those are the big three of Mortal Kombat 1 right now. Johnny Cage, Peacemaker, Chameleon. And I'm going to put my thoughts out here right now. Those characters are probably going to get adjusted in the next patch. That's what I predict. Now, should they get adjusted? Am I in favor of adjusting them? I lean more towards no. I lean definitely more towards no. And the reason why is because I know how NRS can be. We have seen how NRS can be. NRS has had the habit of being overzealous when it comes to nerfing some characters. Sub-Zero in this game, Cyrax in this game, Striker in this game, Shiva in MK11, Sonya in MK11, Katana, did I say Sonya? Maybe Sonya. Scorpion before he was buffed, Kotal Khan, Johnny Cage MKX, Triborg MKX. Need I go on? Like, there's a history of this shit where a character has gone from being very, very good to becoming all but irrelevant. Okay? Now, there are other counterexamples where characters were nerfed in these various games and they were still strong. And that's true. And that even happened with a character like Johnny Cage. But that has been the exception rather than the rule. The rule has been when NRS hits a character with the Nerf bat, they're down for the count. They're down for the rest of the game's life. And I do not want that to happen to Johnny. I don't want that to happen to Chameleon. I don't want it to happen to Peacemaker. Even though I don't even use Chameleon or Peacemaker. I don't want it to happen to any character. Because that hurts the longevity of the game. Okay? I don't want it to happen to any top tier character where they go from being one of the best characters in the game to a character that you shouldn't even pick up if you want to win a tournament. You know what I'm saying? Because all that does is that hurts character variety. So this is why I do not advocate for nerfs. You know, it's interesting because Kendrick Lamar has a record called Not Like Us. Some of y'all have heard it. You know, you may have heard it out there. And part of the record, he calls Drake a fan, a freaky ass nigga. You know what I'm saying? Well, I'm a fan too. But for me, fan stands for fuck all nerfs. You dig what I'm saying? That's my attitude. Now, that doesn't mean never nerf a character ever. It just means that my predispositional attitude towards nerfs is fuck them nerfs. Fuck all nerfs. I'd rather do anything else than nerf somebody. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather buff characters. That would be my idea. I'd rather buff everyone else. But let's continue.
The most prominent characters in Final Combat, and what can I say? The people hated it.
Yeah,
Of course
man,
they
and
did.
the people hated it. I mean, usually tournaments with low variety already hated it. Even if it was low tier.
I'm going to skip some of this.
I use that word, but the C word, carried. I feel like these, like Chameleon and Peacemaker are characters that just by default, they neutralize a lot of characters' tools just by existing.
Yeah.
That I agree with. I agree with that. I agree with that. Now, let me say this. The premise that people are being carried by some of these characters, I'm going to go ahead and stop that right now. I've been seeing these same names be at the top of Mortal Kombat games for damn near the past 10 years now. Sonic Fox has been winning tournaments in Mortal Kombat ever since he was a teenager. Is he being carried by Johnny Chameleon? I don't think so. Actually, I should say they. Are they being carried by Johnny Chameleon? I would say not. I would say not. Is Ninja being carried? Are the twins being carried? Is Video Games Yo being carried? I don't think so. These are people that have been putting in that grind work. Everyone you saw on stage at Final Combat deserved to be there because they are skilled as a motherfucker. So ain't nobody carried. And so anyone out there trying to start that bullshit, you can stop now because you look dumb. And for all the people out there that sat there and, believed Sikander's mess about Sonic Fox advocating for Cyrax to be unbanned or to be unnerfed, y'all look dumb right now because Sonic didn't even use no damn Cyrax. As a matter of fact, there was a very healthy dose of Cyrax. And by that I mean almost none in the top 8. People barely used him, barely touched him. Interesting. But anyway, to the point of Chameleon and Peacemaker neutralizing characters' tools, I agree with that. I agree. Because these characters have such strong anti-neutral options that you out here trying to whiff punish and you get caught with a Jade Glaive. You try to punish a character and Peacemaker can just fly at you with a 12-frame armored attack. Johnny Cage can fly at you with an 8-frame armored attack that goes more than half screen. Peacemaker's goes damn near full screen, if not full screen. And you can't react to it. You can't do shit. And if you do successfully block it, it's great and all, but they're going to have an ambush cameo behind it that punishes you for trying to punish them. And so that's the shit that people are upset about, and this is what they're talking about.
Yes.
And a lot of people were like, oh, all this guy was doing is torpedo and fen lift. All this guy doing was glaive in neutral. All this guy was doing is anti-gravity. How many games did we see end with an anti-gravity 5% chip? How many
Right.
rounds did we see? Multiple. So
We've seen a lot, yes.
many. And the state of this meta is so bad right now
Mm.
that we saw either mirrors or Peacemaker versus Johnny.
Now, let's talk about that shit. You know why the meta is like this? I'm going to blame the Nerf gods out there. That's why. I'm going to blame them. What am I talking about? Matter of fact, let me see if I can find the Twitter comment in this video, because they posted somebody's takes. Hold on. I'm just looking. There it go. Look. This is a Nerf god right here. Look at this shit. To be honest, I'm not really a fan of Pure Buff on the other cameo, because at the end of, they'll probably not be used competitively. What NRS needs to focus on is to nerf the fuck out of all the ambush cameos. Goro, Kano, Chameleon, Fanlift, Striker, Cyrex, Movado, and the rest. This a Nerf god right here. This is a Nerf god. This the bullshit I be talking about right here. And you can tell I'm getting hype just because of this. Because this is the attitude that got my boy Sub-Zero nerfed. This attitude right here. This is the attitude that got Kung Lao nerfed. This is the attitude that got Striker nerfed, Cyrax nerfed. This is the attitude that turns the game into this one character meta, because this is what happens. When NRS nerfed Cyrax, the game was Cyrax and Kung Lao. Those were the top two cameos in the game. NRS nerfed the fuck out of Cyrax. They tapped Kung Lao. What did people do? They flocked to Kung Lao. And then what also did they do? They found a replacement for Cyrax. That replacement was Striker. So then the meta became Striker and Kung Lao. No more Cyrax. And then now that they've nerfed Striker, what have people done? They found the next best thing for Striker. Chameleon. See, when you nerf a character or a cameo, that nerf does not promote character variety. What it does is it motivates the people that play this game for money to find the next strongest shit and line up behind that and learn how to fight it, learn how to use it so they can win. And it doesn't matter how many nerfs you do, this is what is going to happen. The top tier players in this game are going to find out whatever the new meta is, whoever the new meta character is, they're going to find that character and abuse it so that they can win money. Because and somebody said this in the video, their aim is not to entertain viewers by giving us a bountiful show of diversity and, character variety. That's not their goal. They trying to get guap, dog. They trying to get guap. So if they all have to use the same 3 characters and the same 2 cameos to get a shot at $70,000, $80,000, $100,000 or whatever money there is, they gonna do that. They are going to do that. Okay? And you as a viewer need to understand that. And if you don't understand that, you're probably a novice. You're probably a scrub. See, I'm not even competitive, and I understand that. Now, just like you, I don't be wanting to see the same matches over and over and over again, so I'll skip past some shit, or I'll tune out for sure. Yeah. But I understand why they do what they do. I'm not going to sit here and advocate for the game to be in a watered down fucking state just so I can hopefully possibly get some character variety when it ain't gonna happen. Hell no. No. This is buffoonery right here. This take that people have, and this is not a shot at whoever this APK person is. This is a shot at this attitude, because there are so many people who have this fucking attitude when it comes to the game. It's trash. This Nerf God mentality here, this is what makes the game be fucked up. Now, on the flip side, let's look at what the tournament players got to say. The people that actually know what the fuck they talking about. Look at Honeybee. Now that Final Combat is over, I'm really interested to see what the next balance patch for the game will bring. It's obvious that some cameos need some real buffs to compete with the Chameleon meta. Some characters also need some real buffs too. These neighbors with this ghetto ass dog. Jesus fuck. Anyway.
Next balance patch for...
This is a tournament player. Notice he ain't advocating for no Chameleon nerfs. Nope. And he ain't the only one. Let's keep looking. Hold on. Tekken Master said Cyrax is healthy for the game. Yeah, I agree. Because Cyrax gives us an alternative. Instead of the meta just being Chameleon, now you can go to Cyrax. Now, look at what Tweety said. Can we admit now finally that Stryker got nerfed too hard now? Did a player even make it out of pools with him? Should have been nerfed a little less and he'd be balanced. He went from being the top one cameo to being less tournament relevant than Reptile. Look, and then Tekken Master, another top tier player, agreed. And he said make some more ambush cameos. Let's see some more. Rewind. This is one of the best players in the game. This is a cameo-based fighter. There's not much incentive to play anything other than whatever's the top one cameo. What the fuck did he just say? What did I just say? Chameleon just unlocks all characters' potential more than any other cameo. Maybe I'm tripping. Now, Arn Kratos is also a top player, and he's right, but Chameleon is strong because role being an overhead. That's true, but her Jade Glaive is dumb too, and her katana lift is crazy too. You know what I'm saying? Let's see. More attitudes. Look, a foxy grandpa. Chameleon is doing too much. He's not wrong about what he's saying. You know what I'm saying? He ain't necessarily wrong. But notice, is he sitting there saying, oh, nerf the shit out of her? No. So let's hear what Rips Arena has to say about this shit.
Nerf the hell out of all the ambush cameos. Goro, Kano, Chameleon, Fanlift, Striker, Cyrax, Mavado, and the rest. And that's exactly where the problem is, Fabs. We have two different sides, and we have to discuss what is a top-tier character, what is a top-tier cameo in fighting games in general. Most of the time, auto-hit confirms keep you safe whenever you want it. That means you can make unsafe stuff safe, and it allows you to keep your turn forever. So you can keep pressure up non-stop. Jackie did it in MK11, Cetrion did it in MK11, and we've seen that basically in every single game. But that's exactly what the people don't want to see, Fabs, and that's where the problem is.
Yeah. With all these takes, I would say I agree with Rewind's take the most. It is true because, like, Chameleon plays pretty much like a main character, right? And I wouldn't say she unlocks the character's potential. She pretty much does so much that what your character has is just gonna be there, you know. But Chameleon is pretty much a second character. Like, I saw a round where a player did a Jade Glow, and after the Jade Glow, he was still able to do 2 more glaives. That is 3 cameo usages in one cycle of Chameleon.
That's true.
And all of these usages that he's doing with Jade can potentially launch you like from full screen, and if you block, they get another loop of pressure. This is why Johnny Kimlin is so strong. You keep your turn for so long and so long and so long, and there's like the responsibility on how to play the matchup is on the person defending. Like you can't make too many mistakes with Chameleon, but you can make
Right.
mistakes defending Chameleon, which is why you get to see people that if you don't know how to punish a fan lift, you will die. If you don't know how to deal with glaive and neutral, you will also die. Like,
Yeah.
there is no risk in pressing these Chameleon buttons. By the other hand, other cameos, for example, there's risk in doing Sub-Zero Cold Shoulder. There's risk in doing
Right.
Sector Summons. There's risk in doing, I would say, most cameos in this game take some risk and some more potential. And like you have to play the game a little bit more before you do your cameo. But
Okay. My boy told the whole truth right there. The whole truth. The whole truth. Now, let me say this, because it's what I'm about to say is going to sound like I'm contradicting myself, but I'm not. I said earlier that I'm a fan. My attitude is fuck all nerfs. Right? I am not for nerfs, but I am for some normalizations. Now, what is a normalization? A normalization in this context is, a change that brings a character or a move in line with where other characters with similar moves are in the game. So I'm a fan of some normalizations here. Okay? So when it comes down to Chameleon, I would be in favor of, for instance, the Chameleon Molina roll, the overhead joint. It can still be fast. It can still be an overhead. But I believe, for one, it should only hit one time on block. Because there are times where you can block some of the hits and then you get hit by another one. It hits like 3 times or something like that. Right? So it should only hit once. It should not launch on Wake Up. Because Kung Lao's spin, Cameo Kung Lao used to be able to do his forward cameo spin move, and it used to launch as a Wake Up. NRS nerfed that out. Right? So now his Wake Up spin does not launch. Yet Chameleon's Wake Up Chameleon, or Wake Up Molina, it launches though. So that's a normalization. Bring her in line with everyone else. Also, with that Chameleon Molina roll, it should be -30 on block. Because as it currently stands, it has a lot of pushback, which it probably shouldn't have. You can dash up and do your 7-frame jab or whatever, but you shouldn't have to. That thing should be -30 on block. Given the fact that it is an overhead, it is unreactable, it does launch, that shit should be death on block. If you guess right, you should get your full, juiciest ass combo that you can do. You know what I'm saying? That's how I feel. Real talk. See, that's a normalization. I didn't kill any utility of that move. It's still strong for all the reasons it was strong before. I changed one utility to make it more in line with everyone else. But I didn't sit there and say, oh, let's nerf this move into the ground like some of you nerf gods out there. Nah, hell nah. I didn't do like that one APK person and say, just kill every annoying cameo into the ground. No. Fuck that. No. I want it to be more balanced out in terms of risk. Now, here's another thing I advocate for in terms of Chameleon. The glaive. Considering the fact that it is a mid, much like Serena's Well, no, Serena's moves are not mid. Serena has a boomerang that hits you and comes back. I think the Jave Glade, this is what they need to do with it. I'd be in favor of them slowing down the travel time because that shit goes across the screen so motherfucking fast. But that's not even the big normalization I would consider. This is my consideration. It should not come back and hit the player unless it hits. So you know how the chameleon comes out and then it comes back? It hits you once and then it hits you again. That should only happen on hit. So if you hit confirm it and then you throw it out, bang, bang, then you get the 2 hits. But if you just throw this shit out in neutral and you block it, it should be blocked and that's it. It's gone. Because as it stands, that move it crazily disrupts neutral. And if you block it, you're stuck there while the opponent can move. You know what I'm saying? So as a defender, not only do you have to worry about the chip that you're taking from this thing, not only do you have to worry about, oh, I can't even move in this neutral, but even if you block it with a character like Johnny, he's right up on you now from full screen. So I would take that particular functionality away. That's what I would do. And then for Kitana, I like the utility of both of her moves. Her fan toss is strong, but it ain't stupid. It ain't really that dumb. Some characters get conversions off of it, easy conversions. A lot of them don't mid-screen. But that fan lift, that joint is crazy. This is what I would do with those two. I would switch the cooldown on the 2 Kitana moves. Because as it currently is now, Kitana's move, her fan lift, is a fast charge, so it comes back super quick. But the projectile takes longer. I would switch those 2 cooldowns. That way you have to really plan when you're going to do the Kitana fan lift. That's what I would do. And then, just as an added bonus for Chameleon, maybe she can do minus 50 health. She would still be strong. She would still be a top tier cameo to pick. But now there's going to be more risk to picking her. You know what I'm saying? And at the same time, I would buff all the other cameos so that people have more tools in the proverbial sandbox to play with rather than, oh, I can only just pick Chameleon.
These other cameos like Cyrax, for example, just approach, block string, Cyrax. If the Cyrax connects, hit confirm. Cyrax blocks, cool, my turn still. Block string, I get to play more. Like, there's no incentive to play the other cameos in this game.
Yes.
And
yes.
Foxy did mention, is Chameleon carrying? Is she doing too much? I do think she is. She really is right now. I think on Losers Finals, Nicholas versus Chameleon Ballroll the entire time. Overhead, very Sub-Zero MK11 like. I mean, it's strong. It's there. It's just, you got so many options to worry about. The Raiden off-screen Kano days as well. But now it's just like, if you're not using Chameleon, you are kind of losing the matchup in a lot of scenarios. And that does not feel like a good, healthy meta, I would say.
Exactly. But, of course, the pro players themselves, they're not here to entertain. They are competing for money.
Win.
They want the best possible chances to win the 200K. The only thing which is in common is that we all want to grow Mortal Kombat as a community. We want to convince people to play fighting games with us. We want to grow the scene in total. But this is only gonna work when the people outside of the competitive scene are enjoying the game. Or at least not even enjoying the game itself, but are enjoying watching the game. When we take a look at other big major titles.
Well, here's where I will slightly diverge from some of that, because here's the thing. He's not entirely wrong, But here's the problem. We came from a game. Well, 8 years ago, we had a game called Mortal Kombat X. Technically, it was damn near 9 years ago. God damn. People loved watching that fucking game. People talk about that game now as though it was just the most amazing shit on the planet. And that game was very, very hype when it first came out. It pretty much had the Tekken 8 effect, where Tekken 8 just had so much hype around it, and people were like, oh my God, look at this crazy shit. Oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. You know what I'm saying? Loving the game, right? But as hype as that game was for spectators to watch, it was not that fun to play that fucking game. Why? Because it was only fun when you were on offense. For the person defending against all the crazy 50-50s, the anti-airs, the turnstiles, the armored launchers, and all that, shit was not fun, bruh. Shit was not fun. And that game died a very fast tournament death. That game lasted for 2 years in the tournament scene, tops. That's shorter than any NRS title, pretty much. Okay? So, I don't know how much MKX grew the tournament scene, even though people enjoyed watching it. And they claim they love it today. You dig what I'm saying? Now, I'm not saying it didn't grow things, because it certainly did. It brought a lot of new players to the scene and all that good stuff. Yes, that's true. But we also lost a lot of players, too. There were so many MK9 players that never showed up for MKX, and they haven't been in a game since. You know what I'm saying? And it sucks. You know? But in terms of growing the game, it starts with us. It starts with us. It starts with, you know, the broader community of MK players. People like myself, people like you. It starts with us. We have to decide whether we're going to play the game or not. Whether we're going to enjoy the game or not. We got to make that decision from jump. And then once we make that decision, our actions need to align with that decision. So for those people that don't enjoy MK1, they have nothing but shit to say about it. The next reasonable action for you would be, don't fucking play the game. Don't come up in my comment section talking shit about MK1, because you look dumb. Don't go on Mortal Kombat fan pages and talk about how bad MK1 is, or how much better MK11 and MKX and all that shit were. Don't do that. Get the fuck out of the game. Play something else. Play Tekken. Play Street Fighter. Play Armored Core. Play Ghost of Tsushima. Play something, motherfucker. Play some other shit. And don't talk shit about Mortal Kombat 1. Okay? People are well aware of what the game's problems are. I'm one of the ones that brought one of the big problems to the masses. I know this. Okay? But I still took the time to let motherfuckers know that I love this game. I enjoy this game. The game is fun to play and to watch. And I'm going to keep playing it. And I'm still going to keep playing it. I made a decision about what I'm going to do with this game. And I'm acting in accordance with that. And the rest of the community needs to do the same thing. Chances are, if you're watching this video, you've made that same decision that I've made. So I appreciate y'all. We are the ones that are keeping the community alive, because we are the community. We are the community. And we have to foster positive growth, foster a positive attitude and disposition about the game, not to the point of being toxic, not to the point of ignoring problems or stifling criticism, but to the point of killing off bad vibes, because people just love talking shit about this game. And them people, we need to put a dampener on them motherfuckers, straight up and down. Because you're not helping the community, straight up. You're not helping the game. It's okay to point out criticisms. It's okay to say, hey, NRS, fix such and such thing. But to sit here and talk about how bad the game is, oh, this game is still fucked up. Leave that shit. Play some other shit, bro. Straight up. That's how this shit grows. Because when people like a game, they radiate positive energy about the game. They encourage others to test it out. When you talk about how fun and how dope your game is, and you flex your combos and you do your dope gameplay, that encourages others to be like, yo, what the fuck they doing over there? Let me try that shit. How you get into that? That's what helps this shit grow. That's what helps it grow. Growth does not come from the top down. It goes from the bottom up, just like a plant.
Counter-Strike, Dota, what do they all have in common? Like, why are these titles so big? Why do they have millions of dollars in prize pools? Because the casual viewer base is carrying the game. We don't have to talk about the data when we take a look at numbers in MK11, numbers in MK1, even during Final Combat, and then take a look what happens when there's a Dota or a Counter-Strike major event. It doesn't even compare. So my question is, how can we make the game more exciting for viewers? And my personal take is, we need to get rid of auto-neutral. We need to get rid of constant combo loops or the same stuff over and over again. Yeah. And Raiden is the prime example here. In my opinion, still, Raiden nearly killed the game in the early days of Mortal Kombat, because it was Storm Cell into Kano, and there was no variety. And we saw the comments.
Man, listen, I feel you on that. But did you watch MK9? All we ever saw in MK9 was Cabal and Kung Lao, with the occasional Cyrax, the occasional Sonya, maybe, well, Pig of the Hutt's Kenshi, because didn't nobody else use Kenshi like that. As bad as Raiden seemed to be, he wasn't shit compared to them motherfuckers. And the attitude was not the same. No, Raiden did not almost kill the game. The community damn near killed the game. Because before there was even any gameplay, I was the one making videos trying to check people for having piss poor attitudes about the game's graphics and the gameplay and the colors and the way that Tanya looks and the way that such and such happens and the way that this other thing happens. We damn near killed it. The game was dead from the jump. Well, not dead, because it's not dead now, but I'm saying this game was near death before it even came out, before any gameplay had even dropped, because of people's fucking attitudes. That's what killed the game. Because then, when you have that attitude, and then you have the typical top tier character shenanigans that occurs, like in any game, that just makes everything worse. That amplifies it. It makes everything worse. Because objectively, this game is the most balanced of any MK game. Right? Even though Chameleon is the meta right now, if you stick Chameleon on damn near any character, you can probably win a tournament with her. Right? And even if it ain't Chameleon, you can stick somebody on any character and do very well in a tournament, even if they aren't exactly quote unquote meta, right? So the game is doing way better balance wise, but it's people's fucking attitude that hurt the game. I'm going to disagree with them here, because I was in the front lines looking at people's attitude. I saw the comments. There's pages on YouTube right now dedicated to talking shit about Mortal Kombat 1. Several channels. Y'all know who they are. All they do is talk shit about MK1. And it has nothing to do with Raiden and Storm Cell. It has nothing to do with the gameplay. It has everything to do with everything else other than the gameplay. They are the ones that fucked everything up. And them's the voices that need to be stuffed out and snuffed out by people like myself, people like more of the tournament players, Tweety, Honeybee, Sonic Fox, Ninja Killer, Zombat, Rewind, all of them. A Foxy Grandpa, everybody. I love what a Foxy Grandpa did when he took on Fate and basically told him to kick rocks because he's stupid. I love that shit. That's more of what needs to happen. We need to have these tournament players come down and tell some of these motherfucking perpetual naysaying haters to shut the fuck up. You don't know what you're talking about. Half of the shit that y'all are griping about is not even real shit. You can feel how you feel about the way the game looks and the lack of modes and stuff. But at the end of the day, you got to decide, is you going to keep playing or not? Why play and complain? If you going to play, don't fucking complain. And if you going to complain, don't fucking play. Shut the fuck up and go. Because I don't play games that I don't like. If I don't like a game, I don't fucking play it. I'm not going to sit here and talk shit about it. And that even includes a game like MKX. I brought up MKX as a counterexample to another point, but I don't play that goddamn game. I don't. Unless my baby brother challenges me in it, then I do. But I don't go online and play that shit no more. For what? No. So anyway, I think this video's run long enough. It's probably like an hour long, so I apologize. But I'm just saying, I wanted to react to this. I hope you guys learned something. I want to hear your thoughts. I appreciate y'all watching. I'll catch y'all later. 1.